What up, y'all? It's Michael Sean, and I know you want to be a podcaster. You want a successful podcast. You want to give your views and opinions, but you just don't know how to do it correctly. That's why you got to hit up ShawneeScott.com. You want to be on radio, and you want to know how to build your radio career. ShawneeScott.com. She's done all of this. I've worked alongside her for years, and I will tell you the information that she can give you is on a value level that I can't even put a price on it. All you have to do is go to ShawneeScott.com. Your future, right now. That's it. Michael Sean. Yeah.
Want your book or music to be published? Skip the confusion and rejections from others. Let BePublished.org publish and promote your work for less. BePublished.org handles it all, from cover design to worldwide distribution, with high quality and fast turnaround. You even keep rights and royalties.
Everything was perfect. You made my dream come true. My book and CD look so good.
Call 972-880-8316 now. BePublished.org. 972-880-8316.
After the accident,
I was stuck paying all these medical bills.
The Witherspoon Law Group understands that you didn't deserve what happened to you, but you do deserve justice.
They weren't just there for me, they fought for me.
I care about what my clients are going through. We are in the fight of their lives.
We don't just fight for you, we fight with you and make sure you get the compensation you deserve.
And that's why we do what we do. And what we do is win.
Call 844-WE-WIN-44.
Welcome to Winning Wednesday. I hope you all are having an amazing week so far. We had a historic day on 2/22/22. So I hope something amazing happened for you. I hope you put some good things out in the universe and letting them come back to fruition. Well, today is exciting. Iris in the City is all about legacy building. And as I reach out and I learn new things to increase my revenue and streams of income, of course, it's my duty to share them with you. So today, without further ado, we have a very special guest. We are in Vegas, the Sin City, but it's also the city that get business done. So without further ado, let's see a video and introduce today's guest, Miss Juliana Whitney. And she's going to teach us about the business of cannabis.
I thrive on the messiness of the startup situation and figuring out how to make it all work. In cannabis, the whole thing is a startup. It's a startup for the state, it's a startup for the businesses. So the opportunity to dive in to that mess and figure things out is across the board.
Welcome, Miss Juliana.
Thank you so much.
We are so excited to have you today and to learn all about this wonderful business of cannabis and your business Leaf Sheets and how you can help everyday average people get started, because we hear all of the different things about the business. It's hard. Can you get in? But first, I know our viewers are revving up with tons of questions. But first, tell us a little bit about yourself.
About me. Well, I got into the cannabis industry in 2015, and I was working at the front desk of a dispensary because I was taking a break from getting my master's in business, and I needed a job, and my family friends opened the first dispensary in Vegas. So I got a job there. I was front desk. I had no interest in the industry at all. I was like, I'm just here till I figure out what business I really want to open. And then I fell in love with the industry because it was so new and there were so many problems to solve and it's constantly changing. And I love startups. So it was like, this whole industry is an entire startup, and it still is. And at the time I was meeting CEOs and COOs because they didn't have sales teams. So they were the ones carrying in their product. So I was just meeting everybody. And one of them had an empty dispensary space that they kept not opening. So I said, will you let me try to open this? I think I can do this. let me see if I can. And they said yes. And I got them open. And then I've been doing consulting with investors and businesses for licensing and startup and operations ever since then. And now we've started Leaf Sheets.
Leaf Sheets, that's exciting. Well, you've had an amazing journey. So let me just break this up because, like you said, the cannabis business is exciting within itself because it's so much, and they're still learning so much about cannabis and how it's saving lives and helping people cope with different things like anxiety. So, working the front desk, what excited you the most about the business that said, "Hey, you now have my attention"?
It was, so one part was seeing how much the customers cared about the product. And I realized how much of an emotional impact that cannabis has on individuals. So the idea of figuring out how to develop products over time that take that into account, when there's not many products that have to do that. Like alcohol, they're not really worried about like how varied the emotional impact is. It's not that varied. It's, you know, it just is kind
like
of what
8%,
it is.
12%. And the more it is, the better it's supposed to be, right?
Exactly. So that was cool to see. I was like, whoa, these consumers are emotionally bonded to this product. This is like a meaningful product to people. And then also on the back house of things, seeing the executives, seeing that even they were trying to figure things out. And I was like, oh, cool. I can like do this with them. And then working as an employee, just watching inventory control, seeing how employees were treated, seeing how things were falling short in those ways and how that could all be done better. That stuff is really interesting to me.
Okay, so this is the kind of business the CEO comes in, he wants the new strand. So you get to like, let's try this. So we can everybody gets to try it and say, does it make you relax? Is that part of the job?
Sometimes it depends which state you're in and then which dispensary you work at. But the companies will give samples. Like you can't all do it together at a store, but they might send you home, with samples. So you can
I'm like, what does this look like in the boardroom? It's like, okay, so I'm very excited about learning more and being involved in this industry. So from the point of front desk to opening your first dispensary, from there you realize like this is a headache for others. And now I'm passionate about teaching how to.
Kind of.
What did you, so what happened in that process?
So it was more being passionate about going to these people, trying to figure it out and being like, hey, I can do this really well for you. So you don't have to worry about these pieces and you can worry about the, all this other stuff. And so it's really been that.
So it's more of the business consulting part that you're passionate about and kind of like birthing a baby, like taking it on and watching it come to fruition. And then these are the things and saving others from the mistakes, right?
Yeah.
And that's what we do as consultants. We save others from the mistake. Hence is why I'm sharing this information with the world so that they will know it's companies like Leaf Sheets out there to assist. One of the things that I found when I was researching how much to start up, it was like the money needed to start up and the investments was like ridiculous. So I'm like, okay, so how do I get this money? How do I approach people with that type of capital? What does Leaf Sheets do to kind of break those barriers?
Okay, so this is what I'm really excited about. When you approach opening a cannabis business, and it always depends on what state you're in because every state has different licensing fees and different processes. But in a lot of states, the fee to apply is thousands of dollars, but the fee to have a consultant, like my consulting firm, is 5 to 6 figures. And then your legal fee is 5 to 6 figures on top of that. So you're like $250,000 in, some people $500,000 in just to get the license. Sometimes more than that. So what Leaf Sheets does is the pieces of the application that you would usually pay a consultant and a lawyer for, we have created into a do-it-yourself model. So I've taken all the standard operating procedures that I have from over the years for all of these businesses that have won licenses, made them basically, there's like fill in the blanks. And then there's some guidance for how to customize each sheet, and then how to go through regulations and how to put those into your sheet based on your state. And then at some point we'll just have them made for every state. But right now it's at like a DIY model. So you can do those pieces yourself and save 200 grand or something.
Wow. You are really empowering people that want to start up in the cannabis business. So let's just take a look at you in action when you're doing your presenting to all of the people that's looking to start up.
Welcome to Tips for Business Success. The cannabis industry is one that a lot of people want to get into, so knowing how to get into it and how to succeed in it is super important, and that's what we'll be talking about with these three amazing panelists today.
Wow, so you are in and out of the country speaking.
Yeah.
And teaching.
Or all over the state, yeah. And the United States for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so how can someone get in touch with you? If I'm interested in having leaf sheets to guide me through my cannabis process, what's the best way to contact you?
So you can contact me on LinkedIn. The easier way is to just go on leafsheets.com, and you can really just buy any plan that you need to go along with your state. So this is how I would go about the process if I were doing it.
Okay.
I'd go to Leaf Sheets. We have a states page, and you can find your state. We have all of them. Click on it. The links to the state regulations and to the board that will govern cannabis business in your state, it will all be there when you click on your state. So just click the cannabis board's link, and usually you can find either an application or some kind of information about the plans that you'll need in order to apply. And then take that, and we'll have them on Leaf Sheets. So just pull whatever you need, and then just purchase those sheets, and then you'll use the DIY guides and work on those and make them beautiful for your own business to succeed.
Okay. And do you still offer like one-on-one consulting?
So with Leaf Sheets, it's more of a support model. So you can email us. Well, at some point, we're going to do webinars weekly, so we can have like question and answer sessions. And with Can Strategy, yes, I do still offer one-on-one consulting. However, it's much more expensive than Leaf Sheets.
Okay. So you guys, you can do your one-on-one, but you're going to pay for it.
Yeah.
Okay. So with the cannabis industry, are there any hot states right now? And do you have to live in the state that you want to open a dispensary?
It varies. A lot of states you don't have to live there.
Okay.
Some states I'm watching right now, New Jersey, they're doing licensing, and they have a social equity program. Connecticut is, New York's coming up, so that's one really to watch. They'll be coming up pretty soon. And then there's a few that are in the process of legalizing further. People seem to love Massachusetts and Michigan, so those are cool, New Mexico at least has a lot of licenses. It kind of depends what kind of market you want to be in. So if you want to be in a market that has X amount of licenses, so you have limited competition, that's one thing. Or if you just want to enter a market where it's a little easier to get in, but you're competing with a lot more people, then that's another thing.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. And then, as you said, some states offer each state offer a certain number of licenses. So it's not like we can have 500. They know how it works by state.
Right. So a lot of states will limit it. They'll say, there's 75 licenses available or 100 licenses available, and each owner can only own one or can only own 3 or 5, whatever it is. So you'll apply, you'll compete, and then sometimes there's a lottery, and then you see if you win or not. And then in other states like Oklahoma, there's really no limit.
Right up the road for me right now. 75.
There's no limit, but you do have to have, I believe it's 75% state owner, like a local.
Right,
I think they still have that rule. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So is there a difference in so the states that you help with the startups, are they only the states that have the legal marijuana, or are there states where you assist with startups where they have the medical dispensaries as well? When I say legal, I guess it's recreational. Some
Recreational.
have recreational. I shouldn't say
Yeah.
legal.
I was like, yep, everything is on the up and up. It's all legal.
It's all legal. We're all
Yeah.
legal over here. No, I should say yeah. So it's
Okay.
not legal, but
Yes.
some have recreation and some just have medical.
Yeah.
So how does that vary when you are, is a medical dispensary different from a recreational? Like, do you not find like the Snoop Dogs and the whatever names in the medical, or are those in the medical as well?
So Leaf Sheets, for instance, I at my consulting firm work with both, and Leaf Sheets applies to both. So either type that you're going for and either type you're operating to. If you're already operating and don't have all your procedures in place, you can also use what we have. The, you know, the more cannabis culture that you might think of, more traditional would be like Snoop Dogg, stuff like that. I don't know if Snoop Dogg specifically, but that culture specifically, yes, is also in medical.
Okay.
Because, well, it's the first way to get in. And it's also the first way to be one of the first to then have an adult use or recreational location in wherever you are. So you would be first. So it's, it's kind of a path.
Okay, so being licensed as a dispensary, does that also give you the right to grow it or just purchase it from different suppliers?
So if you do a dispensary, then you can just purchase it from different suppliers. You could also, in some states, you can have all three business types. So you could have cultivation, production, and dispensary to have vertical, which helps reduce your costs and increase your profits over time, and Leaf Sheets, if you go on it today, we don't have cultivation and production, but if you go on next week, we will. So we'll have all three business lines on there.
Leaf Sheets is growing.
Yeah, we're running. It took us 2 years to build. So we're like, let's go. We're doing this.
Yeah. So talk about that building process. During that 2-year time frame, like what was some of your barriers as the consultant that's preparing to help others? What were some of your challenges?
So wait. Okay, so you want to hear about when I was becoming the consultant?
Like preparing the 2 years, like waiting to get
putting them together?
Putting them together, yeah.
Okay.
What did that look like?
So what it looked like was I'd had the idea from when I worked front desk, because I was like, oh, licensing is something that can be automated and like made simpler than it is right now. It's like very overcomplicated, but for any smart person, if they're taught how to do it, they can do it. And I think in the future, that's how it'll be. So why don't I create that? I had no technological knowledge. I didn't know how to build something that could do that. So I was like, okay, just going along, And then in my first consulting firm, I had a business partner. We separated, we left that company in 2019. And then my business partner now with Leaf Sheets only, Nick, I ran into him and I was like telling him this idea. And I was like, we got to get it to the people. We have to keep entrepreneurship alive in the cannabis industry. And in order to do that, we have to have ways to both simplify once you operate a business and to get them into the, I was just going off, And he was
as we do when we're excited about our ideas.
Yeah. And he was like, oh, I can build that, because he's the tech guy and he's the artist, he's a designer. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's awesome. And we went through a couple different coders that came and left, which meant we had to pivot how we even built the thing. And we're both running our other companies, because I have Can Strategy and he has a company called DSP, which is the design firm. So we're both doing those and then trying to build Leaf Sheets over time and having to pivot and like do all of that. And everything took a lot longer than we thought, because we wanted to make it as good as possible for our the first launch, So it was always like, well, we can't launch without this, without this, without this. Then finally we had to just say, okay, let's put it out there and we'll keep adding all these other things.
Yes, just build upon it, right? Just build upon it. But you said something very key, because I said every creative girl needs that one technical person in their life. You know, because when you're creative and you can come up with the idea and you do the business planning and everything, you're not always the most technical. So, hey, it's nothing wrong with having a partner that want what you want, right? You doing the same things, and you're both gonna have what you dream of. So every creative needs a technical person. It's just like the perfect marriage
match.
It's just a perfect marriage. So congratulations on finding your perfect partner, because you guys are growing tremendously, you know, and that says a lot that you brought your talents together to create this wonderful foundation for small business owners, large business owners, for anyone to follow. So please make sure you reach out to Miss Juliana Whitney at Leaf Sheets Official on Facebook, LinkedIn at leafsheets.Juliana Whitney. Did I get them all? Leafsheets.com. Hold on. Instagram, help me out. Instagram.
Yeah, I'm like on Leaf Sheets. For Leaf Sheets, it's just Leaf Sheets, one word, on LinkedIn and Instagram. On Facebook, it's Leaf Sheets Official. And then for mine, it's Official Juliana Whitney on Instagram, and then just Juliana Whitney on LinkedIn.
You got it? We got it. Well, I just want to thank you so much for joining us today and giving us all of this information.
Of course.
Hopefully we have people that will be reaching out to you soon. I know I'm adding to my list, and
good. I look forward to
because we need them streams, income streams, revenue streams, passive income.
And the industry needs everyone that's creative so that it stays cool, you know?
Right.
Innovative.
All those different, because it's different reasons that people invite cannabis into their lives, right?
Yep.
So you have to keep it to the culture of those individuals.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize like the names, like the Snoop Dogs and stuff like that, that was a culture of cannabis. So what's another culture of cannabis?
So yeah, that's the most well-known kind of original culture of cannabis. There's also just your like, you know, chillin' kind of hippie vibe people that wear, you know, all hemp clothing and eat vegan and just chill, you know. And then there's
wait, what kind of cannabis do they use? Like the
I mean, everyone uses the same, you know.
Oh, it's the same.
Yeah, like we then there's just your kind of everyday person like me or you that's a professional, and there's your mom, whether she stay at home or not, who's just needs, rather than wine, some cannabis, you know. But everyone just varies on their tolerance. So like I have a low tolerance, but I'm sure Snoop's tolerance is super high. So I could not hang.
Couldn't hang at all with the Snoop Dogg.
Oh my gosh, I'd be like asleep in probably 5 minutes. I'd be like, I'm out.
That's funny. Well, thank you for joining us today. Is there anything you would like to say to our audience that's viewing while you have everyone's attention?
Yeah, just if you haven't thought about the cannabis industry, consider it. Leaf Sheets is here as a resource. If you have any questions, just email us and we will help you. We're here to bring people in and make this work.
Well, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your Winning Wednesday. You've seen her here first. So when you start seeing her all around the United States and abroad, just know you've seen her here on Iris in the City. We brought it to you first. And we are wishing you a very peaceful rest of the week. May everyone receive some sort of, I just want something amazing to happen this week. You know, the 222 thing just have me at an all-time high. So just wishing you all an amazing week. Thank you, Juliana. Be safe in Vegas.
Yeah.
Be safe in Vegas and enjoy.
Thank you so much.
After the accident,
I was stuck paying all these medical bills.
The Witherspoon Law Group understands that you didn't deserve what happened to you, but you do deserve justice.
They weren't just there for me, they fought for me.
I care about what my clients are going through. We are in the fight of their lives.
We don't just fight for you, we fight with you and make sure you get the compensation you deserve.
And that's why we do what we do. And what we do is win.
Call 844-WE-WIN-44.
Want your book or music to be published? Skip the confusion and rejections from others. Let BePublished.org publish and promote your work for less. BePublished.org handles it all, from cover design to worldwide distribution, with high quality and fast turnaround. You even keep rights and royalties.
Everything was perfect. You made my dream come true. My book and CD look so good.
Call 972-880-8316 now. BePublished.org. 972-880-8316.
What up, y'all? It's Michael Sean, and I know you want to be a podcaster. You want a successful podcast. You want to give your views and opinions, but you just don't know how to do it correctly. That's why you got to hit up ShawneeScott.com. You want to be on radio, and you want to know how to build your radio career. ShawneeScott.com. She's done all of this. I've worked alongside her for years, and I will tell you the information that she can give you is on a value level that I can't even put a price on it. All you have to do is go to ShawneeScott.com. Your future, right now. That's it. Michael Sean. Yeah.